What's up, Paul? Thanks for your patience. Going to go through and do a quick review here. I got to go through the disclaimer stuff. 3 things. Know that everything I say is intended to help and be constructive no matter how deflating it might be. Lying to you is a waste of time for both of us, ultimately, right? It makes me look like I'm just full of fluff to build, fluff egos, and it is an absolute disservice to you. It's just a waste of time. Not going to do anything good for you, and nothing I suggest is a guaranteed win. You got to put in the work and do the things that I may suggest. You got to put the time and effort into your shop and stay abreast of all the changes and stuff within the niche that you're in, and that these are based on a combination of Etsy's best practices and what's worked for me, my best practices. They're not the be-all end-all. That's why it's called Jay's Way and not the way, right? What I'm going to do is try to give you a couple of, 2-3 action items maybe that you can work on. I'm sure there'll be probably a few more than that, but the things that we can work on to get you going in the right direction, right? So that said, first impressions, this looks pretty cool. I'm just partial to the outdoors that way. KB, clothes and apparel. Don't know what this means. Who is KB? Clothes and apparel. Okay, that's fine. But what is KB, right? It should be evident here. Clothes and apparel, it's kind of hard to see. It's almost like, just put the KB really big or whatever. Clothes and apparel is redundant. So unique, high quality, positive reviews, fast shipping. You might bite yourself in the butt here if you get a review that is suddenly, you've let's see how many reviews you got. 5 reviews total. You got 1 more, and you're going to be looking like a 4-star. So maybe don't set yourself up for failure just yet. Put something about what your shop is. What is KB Clothes? So far, we don't know. Paul. Who is Paul? Oops. About. Don't know anything about Paul. So fill this out. Put something about, fill the about you. People want to know your, it looks good at first, but again, nobody knows what it is. You want to instill consumer confidence. We're not going to do that by not telling anybody who you are. I don't know if you need to pay for Etsy Plus yet. Not until you figure out who your target market is. We got 59 items, so you're putting some work in here. Again, I've said this a few times, but have respect for your customer's time, right? So if they gotta click on a section to see 1 listing, have more there, right? Condense these. I want to see you have 59 items, cut it down to 5 sections. Have at least 10 in each section. It's just a waste of time. You got 8 seconds to secure a checkout. 8 seconds is the average that a person will last on a page before bouncing if they don't find what they like. So make sure that you make it worth their while, right? So I want to find a fishing gift. I want to find a disc golf. How many clicks am I doing, right? You could have outdoors. So now you've got fishing, disc golf, horse racing, pickleball, right? That's all outdoors. Mom gifts, dad gifts. These are more like product types, not necessarily niches. Condense these. There's no point having all these sections if you're not going to fill anything out. That said, spread way too thin here. Looks like you have no idea where you're going with this shop. So I would start by picking a niche and going after it, man. Let's see about us down here. You got anything in here? This is awesome. You got your pups. Let's see what we got down here. I'm Paul, my husband, and a pup dad. I want to start an Etsy shop and run a small business. Can't wait to see where this new venture takes me. Okay, that works. You're owner, designer. Let's see where that takes us. Okay, so more of the same. You want to create engaging content, and it's going to be so hard to do that if you don't niche down at all, right? Looks like you're into the outdoors here, so go with that. Take pride, attention to detail. It's great you have this filled out, and you got some photos here, so tell people why you are a KB Clothes. What is that? Is that your dog's names, maybe, or your kids? I have no idea, right? I'm going to guess maybe the initials of the dogs, only because there's 2, and but no, it doesn't say anywhere. This stuff, while it may be true, everybody's got it, right? There's nothing unique about this. Everybody, of course, tries to do this stuff, and I'm not saying that to be, in a derogatory sense. It's just, this is great if you have special requests, whatever. But this is just super, super common. It's what every shop owner who's got, 8 out of 10 will have something to that effect, right? Your goal is to provide a great customer experience and quality items for people who like the outdoors, right? Or something like that. Yeah, you're an outdoorsy guy here. That's a great shot. Yeah, so more of this stuff. I mean, that looks like that's where you got to go with it, man. Be careful with this. I don't know if it's copyrighted or not, but I know a guy who came up with this design. So, I know there's lots of people selling that stuff, but just be careful. I don't know if he copyrighted it or not, but he is on Etsy also. Yeah, I mean, you're the outdoorsy guy, but I don't see much for outdoorsy here. That's a good take on a common design. You strike me as the guy, okay, so you're out in a shop, but they're in the woods, right? So be conscious of this stuff. The hiking legend, this is the kind of thing that would resonate, I think, with more of your customers if you could do that. Stuff like pride, I mean, go into it if you're going to actually be an ally, because the people who will buy this stuff to be an ally will just kind of see through people trying to capitalize on something financially, right? That's all there is to it. I'm with the band. Okay, so you got some kind of social justice thing happening here, but you're also outdoors. I feel like these are very different people you're appealing to, right? Or trying to appeal to. It seems like there's a bit of conflict in the niche market here. So yeah, the first thing I would do is definitely figure out who your target market is. Stop trying to do what everybody else is doing, and do something you know. It looks like you like hiking, you're outdoors with your dog, so stick with the dog, stick with the outdoors, stick with like the fishing or whatever it is you're doing outdoors with your dogs, right? The hiking, the camping, the fishing, whatever that is, then do that. Tell people what your story is and go for it. Do that. It's going to be so much easier to get way better traction when you are a subject matter expert on what you're actually doing, right? Everybody knows somebody who's part of the LGBTQ community, but are you a subject matter expert on it, right? Do you know enough about it to kind of be the person that can speak freely about this stuff, right? Are you a great pickleballer? Do you read banned books, right? Those are the kinds of things you got to be conscious of, because the customers will kind of see right through you. So let's look at a listing here. Pickleball. This stuff looks good. Get rid of this. This instills, it's almost like pushing back already, right? Sales, whether they're final or not, don't tell customers they're final. It's like instilling some sense of negativity when nobody even asked, right? You're giving them a reason to already not buy and be apprehensive. You can do that when you have 50,000 sales. You can do whatever the heck you want, right? It's like those musicians that don't listen to the label. When the label wants to take them one way, they want to stay true to themselves. Yeah, that's fine. Stay true to yourself, but make that $1 million first, right? Like, I'm not saying sell out, but I'm saying like come from a place where you have the authority to say something like this, right? I hope that makes sense. Athletic Heather. Yeah, so you can attach these images to the colors. I would do that. Nothing screams there's no rush to buy from me like $9.99, right? So cut that down to 5 or 6. Give a customer a reason to check out if they were on the fence, right? Is there a limited amount? Maybe I should, and run sales. So what do you got? Trifecta. Boyfriend really likes it. The fit is perfect, true to size, does not stretch out and washes very well. I'm so glad I found this site. This sounds fake. I don't know if it is or not, but it sounds fake. That sounds real. I recently purchased this from this shop. I'm really happy with it. The design quality of the shirt's great. So can't wait to make my news. That sounds like it could be good. Primary customer service. That's great. It's a good response. And the fact that you alluded to it being descriptive, it could be real too. I don't know, but it sounds fake. Shirt was a little tight. Recommend size up for. So this is a good learning experience, right? Thank you for the positive feedback and recommendation. So what did you do with that recommendation? Did you do anything with it? Doesn't look like it, right? So maybe it prompted you to put this in there. Please look at the sizing chart. Make this high contrast. If you're gonna have a green background or dark green background, make this white, right? I've got if you look in my Facebook group, you can search for it. I think I pinned one of the posts, but I have a little blurb that you can pretty much copy that says, for if you're selling the Bella and Canvas shirt, size up if you're a guy wanting a looser fit, and if you're a woman wearing a traditional, compared to a traditional woman's size, you might want to size down. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit baggier fit, right? So have that in there. Let the customer know, educate the customer, as opposed to kind of being a little abrupt, right? Yeah, a couple of things you can do right away is like niche down, figure out who you want to sell to, right? If you were to buy the next 5 shirts, what would they be, right? What niche would they be in if you were going to buy shirts for yourself? And maybe do something along those lines, right? But yeah, fill out all this stuff. Tell your story. People want to know more than just your name. What motivated you or inspired you to create this store, right? Okay, so pickleball. You don't need to repeat pickleball so many times. Same thing. So the way Etsy's algorithm works is they're going to take pieces of these, right? They'll take this pickle here with this ball here, with this player, with this shirt. So it could be pickleball player shirt, right? So you don't have to have all these specific keywords repeated over and over and over, right? You're just wasting the keyword real estate. So kind of expand on that. You've wasted so many characters already with just pickle and ball, and it's all the same as in the title. Make sure that you diversify your keywords and take advantage of that. That said, I think there's a lot you can work on pretty quickly there. So I would start by niching down. That's number one. That's a no-brainer. Obviously, it looks like you're into the outdoors, so tell people why and make things that people who are also into the outdoors can identify with. All right, thanks for hitting me up, and yeah, look forward to see where you're at in a little bit. Take care, man.